Hello guys, welcome to another video tutorial on Palito City Web Div. Today's tutorial we're going to be focusing more on the web. So today's tutorial focus more on the beginners, showing them the foundational knowledge in which they need to exhibit before moving on with their career in developing a full stack app. So today we're going to be looking at different terms like the HTTP, www. We're going to be looking at what a web server is, what's a web browser. We're just going to be looking at how request is being sent from the client side and how it is being processed by the server side. So let's get started. So I started this slide by asking what is www. So www is said to be a World Wide Web that consists of different computers, which are called server. So today we're going to be looking at what server means. So we are talking about a group of computers. That is, we're already talking about the Internet of a thing. So the connectivity between different computers. So we are dealing with communication among web servers now, and not just ordinary computers. So the normal way in which we send requests is from our browser. We either type in our URL www.google.com, and then there's something they call DNS, which is the domain name system. What is DNS? Domain name system, not server system. If I can spell system, sorry for my handwriting. Domain name system is responsible for retranslating our various human readable form, which is www.google.com. www.google.com is easily remembered by the brain instead of their respective IP addresses. So this is an IP address that uniquely identify a particular computer or a server depending on what you're trying to access. So in this case we are talking about a particular web server. So the IP address for google.com is 193.194.76.147. So whenever this phone request for Google page is going to send a request, it's going to pass through the internet, and the internet is going to take it to the nearest DNS server, which is the domain name system server, and then it converts it to its respective IP address and then forward it and start searching. Who is 173.194.76.147? And then the server responds, yeah I am. What do you need? Okay, I just need the Google homepage, that is the google.com. Then the web server send back the response in an HTML format. We're going to be talking about this in full. HTML, including with the images, videos, based on what is on the www.google.com, forwarded back through the internet and routed back to the mobile phone. Then the mobile phone, through an application called a browser, then retranslates the HTML back to the form in which it ought to be. So our next slide, we're going to be looking at what are web browsers and server. So web browsers, we directly or indirectly must have used a web browser, because we have so many examples of web browser like our Firefox, Opera Mini, Mozilla Chrome, and so on. So web browser is just responsible for just sending our request, because this is what we interact with. It's a client-side application that interacts with us. We can interact with it to get a particular page. So we have examples of like www.facebook.com. We can request for this page on our browser using what we call our search bar also. So At the other hand, web server is responsible for processing our requests. Like I said before, it collects our requests and search within it. Oh, do I have this content? Yes, I do. Then send it back through something we call the HTTP. So now we are talking about a protocol. So HTTP is more like a messenger between the client browser, which is the browser, and the web server. So it's just the one that traffic the information right from the client down to the server. And it's said to be a stateless protocol. Why? Because it doesn't save any request a user has sent. That is, I can request for www.facebook.com thrice, and even the web server won't know I've requested for it before. So we talked more on the HTTP as the hypertext transfer protocol, which is the messenger that works on top of www to request and deliver information to client or to the server. So we talk about why do we need them? Why do we need web browser? Why do we need web server? Yeah, they make it possible for a very fast way of sharing information. The Internet of a thing has improved the way we now think about information, because we can remotely get information that is being written from anywhere around the globe. So this has brought information to our doorstep. So I think that should be enough reason why we need them. So so we talk about tools to start web development. So you might be asking, how much do you need to start your web development career? The answer to it is that you really do not have to spend any amount. There are a lot of free resources on the internet, like there is W3 Schools, there is Tutorial Point, there are a lot of forum online that offer free HTML web development of it for free. And you might be asking, must I have internet connection? Yeah, like for the very first time you might want to have the internet connection, that is to get in touch with resources, and then you can get different material. I suggest www.dummy.com. They have incredible PDF materials that take you more on web development, and tutorialspoints.com also have a better tutorials that help you improve your skill. So where can I get free online tutorials? I think I've talked about that. W3 Schools. There's this Mozilla official website, www.codeacademic.com. I'm going to drop it down on the description below, and I think that's all. So the only requirement we need here is just a text editor. Take a text editor as the normal Microsoft packages, Microsoft Word application, but we're not going to be using Microsoft Word. We have application like Notepad. We can check our Notepad from our Windows by checking our taskbar, going to all application, under accessories, then we have Notepad. Notepad is just basically this application that we can write a bunch of text. So in the future tutorial we're going to be looking at more of how we can write on our Notepad. We have various ones like Bracket, Notepad++, which is the advance of Notepad. We have Leaf for those of us that are using Linux, and I think Mac OS. So what language are we going to be learning for this tutorials, for this career? We're going to be looking at the HTML, which I made mention, which is the hypertext markup language, which is more for the foundational, creating the structure of how a page should be, and the CSS, which is the cascading style sheet, which is responsible for making our web page beautiful, to beautify our web page, and the JavaScript to make a little bit interactivities between the client and the page. So this is responsible for when you click a button, something pops up, or when you load a page something appears, different bunch of things. And we talk about the PHP, which is responsible for the dynamic web page. It is a server-side scripting language. It interacts directly with MySQL and our database. So MySQL enables us to query data directly to our database. And I think this is all you really need to know as a beginner. You don't need to feel depressed or so. Web development is something you can learn within your room, within anywhere you have, provided you have the necessary materials and you follow up with my channel, and I give you tips on how you can move on with this field. I would like to say a very big thank you for watching this video. I hope every information here has been useful, or is something you can count for. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video as much as you can. Thank you very much.